Hari Om, let us start.
Hari Om, sir.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshal, Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha. सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिणयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत्तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमाबीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यामणिपूर्णरत्नदशकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नगणस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्तां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्राय दाक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसत्हेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमवयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनूतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दधिरेक्षणां ससरजाभवाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीं मरुणमाल्यभूषोज्ज्वलां जवाकुसुमवासुरां जपविदौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिविरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये महेशीम्। ॐ पराशक्ति नमः। ॐ पराशक्ति नमः। ॐ पराशक्ति नमः। So today we are going to go from the 91st name onwards, going by the extent of depth of the names. We will complete from 91 till 100 today. Our attempt will be to complete from 91 till 100, which will cover the first 100 names, and the first 100 names is called as the Tapini Kala. The first 100 names of Devi is referred to as Tapini Kala. So they say that the sun has got 12 parts or 12 kalas, and each kala is supposed to represent one portion of the Lalitha Sahasranama Stotram. So the first kala is the dialogue between Agastya Muni and Hayagriva, and the last kala is the conclusion of the Lalitha Sahasranama Stotra. So each of the remaining kalas respond to 100 names of Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. So the first 100 names of Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi is called as Tapini Kala. I am telling this now because this is what we have to say at the end of the 100, but then I am assuming that we are going to complete 100 today. Our objective will be to do that. So let us start with the 91st name. Om Kulasanketapalinyai Namaha. Om Kulanganayai Namaha. Om Kulantastayai Namaha. Om Kaulinyai Namaha. Om Kulayoginyai Namaha. Om Akulayai Namaha. Om Samayandasthayai Namaha. Om Samayacharatatparayai Namaha. Om Mooladharaikanilayayai Namaha. Om Brahmagrandhi Vivedinyai Namaha. These are the 10 names which we are going to cover today. So, if you recollect the discussions which happened yesterday, we referred to the last name was Kula Amradaika Rasika. Kulamradaika Rasikayai Namaha. Now, these names are all part of the subtler and the subtlest form of Devi. The three, which is the not the physical forms, but the subtle forms of Devi. Now, we talked of how Kundalini Shakti is there as a female serpent lying with 3.5 turns. Where is the Kundalini Shakti? It is as 3.5 turns at the Mooladhara chakra. And how the Kundalini Shakti rises. This is all part of what we covered yesterday. Yeah. So the Kulamrita is the flow of nectar when Kundalini Shakti reaches the Sahasrara chakra. And what is Kula? We refer to Kula. There are several meanings of Kula which are going to come. As we progress, you will see different names of Kula coming in and being talked about in the course of our discussion. So Kula, which is referred to there, is a community of things that are related at birth. We covered that. The family, where the family comes together under one group, one form, that is also called as a Kula. So Kula is also called as Achara, which is a customary observance, and Devi likes all these acharas, all the customary observances that we carry out as humans. So the first name is Kula Sanketa Palini, or Om Kula Sanketa Palinyai Namaha. Kula, we are talking of the same thing, which is tradition or lineage. That is what Kula refers to here. Sanketa is symbolic or these doctrines, and these symbolism or doctrines are considered to be Gupta Gyan. Gupta Gyan means it is secretive. It is not something which is easily available. It is Gupta Gyan. Palini, she who protects or guards this Kula, the knowledge of Kula. So she who protects the code of rituals of the path of yoga known as Kula is Kula Sanketa Palini, which is referring to Devi. So this is a secretive knowledge of the chakras, the mantras and the rituals. And when somebody wants to teach it or wants to impart this knowledge, there is a stricture, which means that it cannot be just given off like hot pancakes. You can't do that. We spoke about this. There is a stricture that this should be this tantric knowledge. It's tantric knowledge, and this tantric knowledge should be strictly guarded by the guru. And these books should not be given away like for free. It is something which should be learned from the mouth of the guru. That is the way you should learn these tantric aspects. Yeah. So you cannot put this into practice. These rituals cannot be put into practice by reading from a book. That is not the way to do it. This has to be following the Guru Parampara, Guru Shishya Parampara, and this is the way you can actually learn what is called as this Kula Sanketa. This is what Kula Sanketa means, that you cannot turn around and read it. It is a closely guarded secret kept by the Guru, and the Guru imparts this knowledge only through the Guru Sishya Parampara. Okay, Kula Sanketa Palinyai Namaha. The next one, Kulangana. Kulangana is refers to Devi who's well born. Devi is well born, or from a good family. Now this what this also means is that Kula Angana. Yeah, that is the split of the word. Now they say that women should not wander around freely. Even now we talk about it. Dubai is a different story. Even at 2 o'clock in the morning, ladies will go around freely. But they say that a person like Devi should not wander around freely. And Devi is one who stays secluded. So getting to know Devi is getting to know what is called as Gupta Gyan. That knowledge of Devi is highly guarded. So that also implies that Sri Vidya knowledge of the Sri Vidya, the concept of Sri Vidya Puja is also something which is closely guarded. It is not something which is freely available like pancakes, So they say that like a bride of noble descent, Devi remains veiled. Devi remains veiled. So that is the way Devi is. In order for a person to see Devi, the only person who can actually see Devi is somebody like Lord Shiva. So, or a seeker who becomes like Lord Shiva. So, if you have to become like Lord Shiva, what should you do? You should first learn to give up all your worldly attachments. You should become an ascetic. Lord Shiva was an ascetic. So that is the way we should, if a person is a seeker, becomes an ascetic and follows the path of renunciation, that is the only way that that person can actually get to experience Devi, experience Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. So they say that all other knowledge is on common display. Every other knowledge is on common display, but Devi's knowledge is not on common display. There is a lot of effort that is involved. Yesterday I just read from that passage on how one needs to propitiate Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. So in that way, in that manner, we have to work really hard to get to that state of getting to know Devi. Now what this means is not, it does not put down other forms of knowledge, other forms of worship, but what it sees, it underlines the importance of the Guru Sishya Parampara. Without the Guru Sishya Parampara, it is impossible for anyone to attain complete knowledge of Devi. And that relationship is the relationship of Kula Vidya, or the path of Kula. That is also another meaning of Kula now. Next one. Om Kulantastayai Namaha. She who resides in Kula Vidya. Kula, Anta. Anta means inside. Sta, resides. So, she who resides in Kula Vidya. Now, here we are talking of Kula is the special knowledge which is known as special spiritual Shastra. Okay. In some texts, in some Lalita Sahasranama texts, it is not Kulantasta, it is Kulankashta or Kulankasta. Kulankasta or Kulantasta. Kulankasta with a K. If it is Kulankasta, what it means is she who sits in the lap of Kula Vidya. She who sits in the lap of Kula Vidya. So, we talked of what Kula means. Kula means the country or the home. So then in that case, this also means that this is the mantra that she who resides as the object of worship in each home. She is the object of worship in each home. So we are talking of Kula, which means a country or a home or a set of homes. So Devi is worshipped in each of those homes. So therefore, she who resides as the object of worship in each home, in each tribe, or each family, or each village, that name of Devi is Kula Antastha. So she is there in each of these homes in this complete Kula. She manages that Kula. So, each, like I said yesterday, what is that? There is a each family. Like for instance, we spoke about the family, Jalaja's family. There is a Kula Devada. There is a Dharma Devada. Like that, we have our Kula Devada. In my family also, there is a Kula Devada which is there. And one thing which in fact was also mentioned in the discussion this evening, we had that was about the name, the shloka which is there outside Panangurishi Bhagavati Devi, which states Kali Kali Mahakali Bhadrakali Namostute. Kali Kali Mahakali Bhadrakali Namostute. Kulamcha Kuladharmamcha Mamcha Palaya Palaya. Kulamcha Kuladharmamcha Mamcha Palaya Palaya. So this is I will share the picture. This is the image of this is very close to the image of her ancestral, not, I can't say ancestral, Kula Devada, not the Dharma Devada, Kula Devada. Kula Devada is Panangurishi Bhagavati. So Kula Dev, that Kulam, that picture is that of Kali, Mahakali, having a sword, and so it's a very what we call as Ugra Rubini. Ugra Rubini. She's very fearsome. Yeah. So this is what we can talk about in the form of Kula. Now we'll go to the next one, which is Kaulini. Om Kaulinyai Namaha. We have talked of Kula in several ways. So Kaula, which is Kaulini's origin, Kaula, yeah, she who belongs to the Kula. She who belongs to the Kula is Kaulini or Kaulinyai. Now Kula, we have talked about Kula in several ways, yeah. So Shakti is referred to as Kula. So we remember that these descriptions in the next, it will go on for the next few names of Devi, because it is pretty much abstract. It is pretty abstract. We are going into abstract, which is why they say that this is the subtlest form of Devi. So there is a bit of abstract aspects coming up in the names. So you'll have to take it in that perspective. So Shiva or Shakti is referred to as Kula. Shiva is referred to as Akula. Akula. So Shiva is Akula, meaning somebody who does not have a Kula. So if you look at who Shiva is a person who has no belongings. He is an ascetic. He has no belongings. He is transcended that and gone beyond. So because he is gone beyond, he is Akula, a person without any Kula. So Shiva is Akula, and because Shiva is also considered to be Swayambhu, so therefore definitely he is Akula. There he has no Kula. So Shakti is Kula and Shiva is Akula. So that which pertains to Kula is called as Kaula. Yeah. So this Kaula refers to the relationship between Kula and Akula. Kula and Akula, the relationship between the two is also referred to as Kaula. So Kaulini refers to the unition between Shiva and Shakti. The unition between Shiva and Shakti, and this takes us again to the 999th name, which we will come to read, which is Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini. Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupinyai Namaha, which is the 999th name of Devi, Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi, which is Shiva Shakti Aika Rupini. So Kaulini means the same as Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini. Okay. Now there is another aspect also which is going to confuse things even more, which is that the 1,000-petaled lotus, the Sahasrara Chakra, that is also called as Kula. That is also another name of Kula. So this Sahasrara Chakra, each of these petals have a deity, have a Shakti. Each of these petals have a Shakti. And the stem is the Devi. Stem is Lalitha Trupari Sundari Devi. So Devi is the person who is controlling these 1,000 Shaktis. So Devi is the person who is controlling the 1,000 Shaktis, and therefore she is called as Kaulini. She is in control of the Kula, she is in control of the Akula, and therefore she is the person who is controlling all these 1,000 deities that are there, 1,000 Shaktis that are there in the Sahasrara Chakra, and therefore she is called as Kaulini. The next one, Kula Yogini. Om Kula Yoginyai Namaha. Again, Kula. Yogini. Yogini is derived from yoga. Yoga is basically the bringing together, the joining. So, Yogini is a female yoga practitioner or a tantric female yoga practitioner. And what is this yoga about? Yoga is about the joining of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva and Shakti coming together, that yoga is being referred to here as part of Kula. So, yoga means bringing together, and yogini is the person who is joined to. And Kula, in this case, is again slightly different. In this case, Kula refers to the 6 adharas, the 6 chakras, starting from the Mooladhara, coming all the way till the Ajna Chakra. Up till the Ajna Chakra, all this is referred to as the Kula. So who's Kula Yogini? Kula Yogini is the one who resides in these chakras. How does she reside? She moves from chakra to chakra to chakra to chakra, and therefore brings all the chakras together. So she is the person who controls all these chakras. Yeah. So you can talk about all the other meanings of Kula, the family, the bringing together of Shiva and Shakti, and the different Shastra, then the she who practiced the secret of the chakra. So all these are the different names of some different meanings of Kula. All this can be meant in this one name of Devi, which is Kula Yogini. She is the head and controller of all these forms of Kula. Okay, so this is the 95th name. We'll move to the 96th, Akula. Om Akulaye Namaha. Who's Akula? Akula is Shiva. Yeah, but Akula also has a name. She who does not have a family. It is not just Shiva. Devi also does not have a family. How is that interpretation of Devi not having a family? Because what is another name of Devi, which is something that we say after we do our initial chant of Lalitha Sahasranama, we end by saying Om Parashakti Namaha. Om Parashakti. So when we talk of Devi, we talk of Devi as Adi Parashakti. What is Adi? First. Adi means first. So she is the first Parashakti. So she is the primal Shakti, the most important Shakti from which all other Shaktis have come. If she is the person who is right at the top, right at the beginning of creation, then how will she have a family? So that is also another aspect of Akula. Akula basically is Devi, referring to Devi as a person who does not have family. Now, in fact, there is a further interpretation that says that Devi is beyond the 6 chakras. So we talked of Kula. Kula is is the 6 chakras. That is also one of the meanings of Kula is referring to the 6 chakras from the Mooladhara coming up to the Agnya chakra. Now she is beyond that. She goes well beyond these 6 chakras, and therefore she is Akula. There is another word in Sanskrit which we should not be confused with, which is called as Akula. This is Akula, not Akula. Be careful when you pronounce the Sanskrit. If you make the mistake of calling it Akula means distress. Akula means distress. So if you make the mistake of pronouncing this as Akula, you are saying that, oh God, you are the goddess of distress. So that is wrong. So make sure that you get it right. Get the pronunciation and the stress right. Okay. 97th. Samayantasta. Om Samayantastayai Namaha. Samaya Antasta, resides within. Yeah. So she is the person who resides inside Samaya. Now Samaya is not time as we call it. Silence here. Samaya is not time. Samaya refers to Manasa Puja. Now, when we do Manasa Puja, when we are doing, they say, what's that? Pushpam Palam Doyam. Mantram Pushpam Phalam Doyam, right? So we talk of all the mantras, Pushpam and Phalam and all those things which we are giving to God. Suppose we don't have anything. Then we have to do what is called as Manasa Puja. So when this Manasa Puja is done, when we go to the ashram, Vallikava ashram, and Mata Mridandamayi asks us to do Manasa Puja. We talk of Manasa Puja where we take a flower, an imaginary flower from the Anahata chakra, and we offer it. We talk of the Patram, yeah. So we talk of the mantra, we talk of the imaginary flower, that comes from the Anahata chakra, and we offer it to the Lord. So why the Anahata chakra? The Anahata chakra, because that is where the Devi is supposed to reside. That is one of the prime areas where the Devi resides as well. She resides in all of the chakras, and that is covered in, as we go down, we'll cover that aspect as well. But the Anahata chakra is from where we take a flower and offer it to the Devi. So this is from an internal perspective. We offer it to the external perspective. So that is how the Manasa Puja is carried out in the ashram, and that is what is being referred to also here. So Samaya is Manasa Puja, internal worship conducted in the Hrit chakra, which is the heart chakra. And yogis have recorded this as the highest form of worship, where you do Manasa Puja. So you're invoking Devi inside, and by invoking Devi inside, you're taking a flower from the deepest parts of your heart and you're offering it to the external form. So that is what happens when you do the Manasa Puja. Now they say that Samaya is a collection of 5 tantric texts. These texts are composed by Vasishta, Shuka, Shanaka, Sanatana and Sanat Kumara. There are 5 tantric texts, and the subject of these tantric texts is Sri Chakra worship. Sri Chakra worship is the subject of these texts. She who is the subject of the Samaya texts, that is Samaya Antasta. That is what is referred to in this thing. Now the word Samaya, you can split it into Sama, which means equal, Ya, which means she who has reached or attained. Anta. Anta is end or ultimate aim. So she who resides within those who have a firm conviction of the equality of Shiva and Shakti. Ultimately, Shiva and Shakti are considered to be equals. Yeah. In what form are Shiva and Shakti equal? Shiva and Shakti are equal in 5 different ways. Shiva and Shakti. One is in abode. Shiva and Shakti are in the ocean of nectar in the Sahasrara chakra. Once they come together in the Sahasrara chakra, Shiva and Shakti are together in the Sahasrara chakra. In action, Shakti is equally powerful as Shiva. Shiva and Shakti are equally powerful. Then in dance, Shiva engages in the Tandava dance, Shakti engages in the Lasya dance. In name, one is Shiva and the other is Shiva. Shiva and Shiva. Remember the accent on the A at the end. So if you talk of Shiva, which refers to Lord Shiva, and Shiva refers to Shakti. So in name as well and in form, Shiva and Shakti are both in color red. Shiva and Shakti are in the color red. So these are some of the ways, 5 ways in which Shiva and Shakti are considered to be equal. So she is inside us. What is that? This is what this name ultimately means. Samaya Antasta. Samayantastaye Namaha. She who resides inside Samaya. We'll move to the 98th. Samayachara Tatpara. Samaya Achara Tatpara. Samaya means the same. We talked about Samaya there. Yeah. Achara is the rituals. Tatpara, she who is the devoted, completely devoted, and the highest form. She is completely devoted to Samaya Achara. So she is completely attached to that form of sadhana. So we spoke of Samaya, and Samaya basically needs the complete grace of the Guru in order for us to progress and achieve a rising of the Kundalini. So the Kundalini rises from the Mooladhara chakra and goes through Swadhisthana, through the Manipura, the Anahata, Vishuddhi and Agnya chakras. And what happens? It meets Shiva. It meets Shiva, Sadashiva in the 1000-petal lotus, and joins him in the curtained, they called it as a curtained pleasure chamber, and emerging from there returns back to the Mooladhara. That is what Shakti does. Shakti goes all the way up, gets energized by Lord Shiva, and energizes Lord Shiva as well, and comes back and rests at the Mooladhara chakra. So the Samaya Achara these are the different steps that the sadhak undertakes under the Guru's instructions, under the watchful eyes of the Guru. And the Devi is very happy, very pleased to see this form of sadhana undertaken by the sadhak. We'll move to the 99th one, Mooladharaika Nilaya. Om Mooladharaika Nilayaye Namaha. Moola Adhara. Moola Adhara. Moola means the extreme base or the tip. Adhara. Adhara is again refers to the base. Ek, which is the chief or the prime or the most important Nilaya. So she is, his principal abode is the Mooladhara. Whose principal abode? Shakti's principal abode. Now, we have referred to all the different lotuses. So Mooladhara is a lotus with 4 petals. So we will know all the petals and all these things as we move through this particular name of Devi. So you have a center in the Mooladhara. You have there is a bindu known as Kula Kunda. The Kundalini sleeps in that area, in the Kula Kunda, right in the center. The Kundalini is sleeping, and the face of Mooladhara, the Kundalini, is hidden from you. The face is not visible. The face is hidden. So the term Mooladhara stands for the root of the Sushumna. Sushumna starts at the Mooladhara. Ida and Pingala also start at the Mooladhara. Yeah, and that is the base of the Kundalini. It is from there that the Kundalini starts to rise. So you have different chakras. We have covered the different chakras, and you are probably aware of the different chakras as well. So you have what is that? The following elements, the following tattvas associated with each of the chakras. So Mooladhara chakra is associated with earth or Prithvi. Swadhisthana chakra, which is slightly higher, is associated with the fire element. Manipuraka or Manipura chakra is associated with water element. Anahata chakra is associated with air element. Vishuddhi chakra is associated with space or akasha. And Ajna chakra, which is the mind, associated with manas or manas. So the Kundalini travels through each of these chakras and activates each of these chakras before reaching the Sahasrara chakra. So now once each of these chakras are activated, as by the Kundalini as it passes through the Sushumna Nadi. Once it happens through that, the person who gets this activation starts becoming omniscient. So the concept of siddhas, if you have heard of the term siddhas, people with siddhi, the capability to see ahead, the concept of these siddhas happens because these people have activated their chakras. When their chakras are activated, automatically they are able to see ahead. Before even an incident happening, they know that, okay, this man is coming to me. They know that this person is coming to me. They know that all these things are going to happen. So that is the omniscience of these yogis, the great siddhas. And how does this happen? When they activate their chakras. So Mooladhara is considered to be a 4-petaled lotus, and it is at the region between the anus and the genitals. Swadhisthana is a 6-petal lotus, which is slightly higher. Yeah. Above that, at the navel region, is the Manipura, which is the 10-petaled lotus. Then you come to the heart, which is the Anahata chakra, and the Anahata chakra is the 12-petaled lotus. Then you have the heart chakra, which is the Vishuddhi chakra, and the Vishuddhi chakra is a 16-petaled lotus. And then we come to the Ajna chakra, which is right at the center of your forehead, between your eyebrows. That has got a 2-petaled lotus at the center between the eyebrows. So these are the 6 adharas, starting from Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Ajna chakra. See, these are the 6 adharas, and it moves up through these 6 adharas. So the Mooladhara and Swadhisthana are the most lowest chakras. Mooladhara and the Swadhisthana are the lowest chakras. It is a tamasic aspect of life. This is called as the Agni Mandala. I am telling these names because it is going to come back later. Agni Mandala, it is called as the Agni Mandala, or the disc of fire. The next one, which is Manipura and Anahata, is the mixed world, or the Mishra Loka. Yeah, it is the mixed world. It is also called as the Surya Mandala. So you have the Agni Mandala at the base, the Surya Mandala in the middle, and at the top, Vishuddhi and Ajna is known as the Jyotir Mandala or Chandra Mandala. Why is it called as Jyotir Mandala? Only when you overcome your Agni Mandala and Surya Mandala will the light of knowledge come in your Vishuddhi and Ajna. For this to happen, for you to get that knowledge and wisdom, you have to overcome all of the lower chakras. Lower chakras have to be overcome. We spoke about Ida and Pingala. Ida and Pingala are lying coiled at the base. They are twining their way up around the Sushumna. Ida starts at the base, coils its way around the Sushumna, comes to rest on the left. And the Pingala coils its way in the opposite direction, comes to rest on the right. If you remember our yoga class, we talked of the Chandrabheda Pranayama. Chandrabheda Pranayama is the left nostril breathing, and Suryabheda Pranayama is the right nostril breathing. The left nostril breathing cools your body. You do the left nostril breathing in summer. You do the right nostril breathing in winter. Because the right nostril breathing warms your body, left nostril breathing cools your body. So all these what is that? All these chakras are there. Where are these chakras? These chakras are on the Sushumna Nadi, which is why even in yesterday's class I was telling that while seated, sit straight. Sit straight. Don't bend. Don't have a hunch in your back. Sit straight. Sitting straight is the primary aspect if you want to awaken your nadis, if you want to awaken your chakras and allow energy to flow in your body. Your posture has to be absolutely plumb and vertical. Yeah. So the Sushumna is slender as a lotus fiber and radiant as lightning. So that's what they say. It is as radiant as lightning. So when the Kundalini is sleeping at the Mooladhara, is awakened through yogic practices and by the grace of the Guru. Again, Guru comes in. So Guru Shishya Parampara is also referred to always right through the Lalitha Sahasranama Stotra, because to learn even the Panchadasakshari mantra, you cannot learn it on your own. You need a Guru. If you need to go through the earlier thing which is the Samaya Tattva, Samayachara. If you want to learn Samayachara, you need the Guru. For every step, you need the Guru. Similarly, if you need to awaken your Kundalini, you need the presence of the Guru, so that it can rise, the Kundalini can rise, and as it passes through each of these chakras, various chambers of the mind open up, and you see wonderful insights are noticed, unparalleled sounds and indescribable siddhis manifest. Yesterday, while going through the simple meditation at the end of the class, it was a simple meditation that was there at the end of the class. I spoke about something called a self-hypnosis. I don't know if those of you who were there would recollect what I spoke. I spoke about the concept of self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis is a meditative state. Once you get into that self-hypnosis and you withdraw yourselves inwards, you will not want to open your eyes. You will not want to open your eyes. You will reach a stage where you will experience extreme bliss, and you will not want to let go of that bliss. You will not want to come out to a state of wakefulness, and you want to sit there in absolute silence, in unison with the divine. That state is a state where you start slowly getting aware of yourselves. That is a state of more awareness of what you are. So this is the wondrous sights, unparalleled sounds and indescribable siddhis, and this is how these things manifest. So the yogin transcends all the limits imposed by the body and mind. We go past the body and mind to a very different level. So that is what we have to achieve ultimately. So this is where we're coming almost we have not come to the end of the abstractism. There is a few more slokas which are a little more abstract. Now, the moon is basically moving through the Ida. The moon moves through the Ida and the sun comes through the Pingala. We spoke about that. Now, when the sun's rays are strong, the nectar in the moon melts. They say that the nectar in the moon melts and flows constantly through the 6 adharas and goes all the way down to the Mooladhara. What happens? So Kundalini consumes the nectar, and after drinking this nectar, the Kundalini falls asleep. So, which is why I don't know if you have noticed, again, this has been covered in earlier sessions when we have done meditation. We have talked about the importance of Nadi Shodhan Pranayama, where you have the Ida and the Pingala Nadi equally open. Only when the Ida Nadi and the Pingala Nadi are equally open, only at that time can you do meditation. That is the right time for you to do meditation. When Ida and Pingala are equally open, that is the time when the Sushumna Nadi also opens up. So this is a very important aspect. If one side is a little unbalanced, especially if the moon side is unbalanced, the sun's rays fall on the moon side and the nectar falls all the way down through the Sushumna and ultimately through the Ida Nadi, and ultimately the Kundalini falls asleep. So you're not able to awaken the Kundalini. So the Kundalini, the motion of the sun and moon can be stopped by yogic practices. Then the flow of nectar from the moon stops. When the flow of nectar from the moon stops, the Kundalini wakes up hungry and starts her path upwards. So Kundalini is hungry when that nectar stops, and when that nectar stops, the Kundalini starts ascending. So this is the key is to remember that we have to ensure a balance between the Ida and the Pingala Nadi, and that is when we will be able to achieve a balance, and with that balance achieved, the nectar stops flowing and Kundalini starts to rise. The last one for today, Om Brahma Grandhi Vibedinyai Namaha. Now, Granthi means a knot. Brahma Granthi is Brahma's knot, basically. And what is Vibedini or Vibedinyai, which means it's breaking through or severing the knot. The knot is actually being opened up or severed. It's opened up or severed. She who breaks through the knots of Brahma. She breaks through the knots of Brahma. So, where is this Brahma Grandhi? Brahma Grandhi is just above the Agni Mandala. If you remember what we spoke about Agni Mandala, Agni Mandala is the lowest aspect, which is above the Mooladhara and the Swadhisthana chakra. So just above the Swadhisthana chakra, you have this Agni Mandala, which is that is Agni Mandala, and you have the Brahma Grandhi, which is just above the Swadhisthana chakra. And Brahma is the creator, and Devi shines in the Brahma Grandhi as a symbol of creation. So she is in the Brahma Grandhi, and she actually opens up that knot. This name Brahma Grandhi is symbolic of the creative instinct. So the seeker transcends this Grandhi by sadhana and by Devi's grace. So this knot is thought as the hurdles. Generally, we go through a lot of vasanas, and in order to overcome these vasanas are represented by that knot, and you overcome that vasanas by the grace of Devi, Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. So you are going past Brahma Grandhi, and how do you go past? By doing all your upasana to Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. So this is what Brahma Grandhi Vibedinyai Namaha refers to. Om Brahma Grandhi Vibedinyai Namaha. So then you have so many more. Time is already gone well past our 30 minutes which we have allocated. Tomorrow we will again cover another 10, but after that I think we will be able to go a little faster. We'll probably be able to cover 15 odd names of Devi every day. We will try and complete by the end of this week. I'm hopeful that we will complete 150 names of Devi. So 60 names of Devi we will try and complete this week. So we have completed 100 names, and like I mentioned in the beginning, this is called as Tapini Kala. We have completed Tapini Kala, which is the first 100 names of Devi. So I think we should all express our gratitude to Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi for having taken us through these 100 names of knowing the glory, the form of Devi and the subtle aspect of Lalitha Tripura Sundari. So I offer these names at the lotus feet of Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. Om Asato ma sadgamaya तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्माहमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वापराधं विहितमविहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि